Hi lovely people, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. This is going to be another art supplies haul video. I'm still waiting for my great art order to arrive. Not quite sure what's happened with that, so I might have to chase it. But in the meantime, I did order a couple of bits from, or a few bits even, from Jackson's, and I ordered a couple of bits from London Graphic Centre. Now, London Graphic Centre have only sent me one of the things, which was some tracing paper. So yeah, I got a pad of tracing paper because I've kind of run out of tracing paper. It comes in handy. But the other thing I ordered from London Graphic Centre is some wooden panels, because I want to start doing some work, again working outside of my sketchbook, but progressing onto wooden panels, and then we'll go from there. So I ordered these wooden panels. They were Seabright wooden panels from London Graphic Centre, and they've not turned up yet. So if they do turn up, before I obviously put this video out, I'll film that and add it onto this. Also, if my great art supplies turn up, then I might tag them onto this video as well, so you just get one big art haul rather than like multiple art hauls. Because Jackson's Art, I just ordered a couple of bits, well, more than a couple, a few bits, something that I've been wanting to try for ages, and I've seen loads of videos on them, and I've kind of ummed and ahed, but I'm gonna dip my toe into them because I think they might be good for working on the wooden panels that I've ordered. I also, to work on the wooden panels, because they're not prepped wooden panels, although next time I might buy some prepped ones, I have brought some acrylic gesso primer for them. So I've just bought a small tub of that. So that came in the Jackson's Art order. So I've got the gesso, but I don't have the wooden panels. I also bought 2 refills for my little rubbers that I can't remember the name of. Erasers or rubbers, whatever you want to call them. Mono Zero. So that's the really thin pinpoint one. And then this is the Mono Zero. I bought a few water mixable oil paints last year, I think it was, and I may have shown them on here. If I have, I'll link the video below. But I bought a couple more of the water mixable oil colours, again, maybe for either working on the wooden panels or just for working in my sketchbook. So I bought those, which I'll show now actually. I might as well just show them as I get them out. So I got this Lucas Berlin. I don't think I bought this brand before. Let's have a look to see what I had before. These are the ones that I have in my stash. So I've bought from Norma Blue, and the Duo Aqua Oil, and then the Cobra water mixable oil. And I got this Lucas Berlin water mixable oil in raw sienna just to try and see what that's like. I really like the ones that I've got. They're very smooth and like buttery, I would say. So that one's raw sienna. Thought that would come in handy and kind of goes with the colours that I already have. And then I also got the Cobra water mixable oil colour in Payne's Grey, because I love Payne's Grey, and I thought I'll get one in the oil, like the water mixable oil. That is really nice. I've put far too much on the page there, but it's a really lovely, lovely colour. And then this is the Payne's, oh, I've got a bit of the raw sienna still. Oh, that's a nice Payne's Grey. This is the Payne's Grey. That's really nice. I really like them. But I do find when you use your brush, you still have to, you need something more than water to wash it out of your brush to make sure your brush is fully clean. But they're really lovely. I really like them. I'm swatching today in a Royal Talens sketchbook. So these I am quite excited to try. These are the R&F drawing oils. Now, I've seen loads of videos on these, loads of people trying them, and I kind of ummed and ahed about them. And I had loads of these in my basket, and I thought, oh, do you know what? You just need to be a bit more restrained. Oh, that's great. I've got Payne's Grow on that. You just need to be a bit more. Ooh, that is really nice. Just using that from the get-go. That is really nice. Let's get rid of that Payne's Grow off there. That is very buttery. You just need to be a bit more restrained, whittle it down. You don't need all of these from the start because you're not sure whether you're going to particularly love them loads or use them a lot. So why don't we just get like a couple? Well, a couple turned into 8. But regardless, they don't really have a strong smell because that is what puts me off oil stuff in general, the smell. I really don't like the smell. I find it too much. Now, obviously I use oil pastels and I really love oil pastels, but I just thought these drawing oils might be quite good on, like I say, on the wooden panels or just really in sketchbook or on paper for that added bit of texture. Might work really well with the water mixable oils as well, just as an additional mixed media piece. So I tried to pick colours that I knew that I would use a lot of or would be a good place to start. There was one that I kind of wish I had got, and it's whether or not I go back for them, which was I think it was cerulean grey or something like that. Kind of wish I'd got that one now as well. However, never mind, we can always get that one again. Anyway, so titanium, zinc, white. Now, they don't seem, I think they've got a little bit of like we might say like a film on them, a bit like a big oil stick, but that easily wipes away, and that's so buttery and smooth to use. That is really nice. I like that. So that is titanium, zinc, white. What I might do as well, I might do a video on actually using this and how I'm going to incorporate them into maybe my mixed media. So that might come like further down the line when I'm experimenting a bit more with them, because this is just swatching, so I can say how I initially feel about them, but then it'd be good to use them a bit more and then maybe do a video on that as well. So this is unbleached titanium. They do have like a very thin film, which when you rub it onto the sketchbook comes off. You could probably take it off with like a palette knife. Like I'm rubbing that off there. You could probably take it off with a bit of paper, whatever. So they do have a very thin oil film over the top, just where it's solidified. So I've got some of this oil thinner, so I might try that with them. Mars Red. I was thinking foxes quite a lot with this. We all know that I like to draw a fox, hopefully. Oh, that's really nice. They do have a smell, but they're not as strong as like I think the Sennelier oil sticks, they're really potently strong. Let's try a little bit of this thinner to see what happens. Ooh. love that. Let's try it on here actually. Yeah, it works really well on the water mixable oils as well. Like that. I love this. This is great, this stuff. This is Sennelier's green for oil dilute. So this is cherry absinthe, which, ooh, that is not the colour. That is not the colour I thought that was going to be. What colour is that? Cherry absinthe. Well, I guess absinthe is green, isn't it? I don't know. I think because it had the word cherry in it, I thought it was going to be like a dark red, but it's not. That is green. That is not the colour I thought it was going to be. Not that there's anything wrong with the colour, but that is not the colour I thought that was going to be at all. Don't think it had a swatch on either, or maybe it didn't, because it's so dark. Okay, well, to be honest, it wasn't the colour I thought it was going to be, but I like it. I will use it. That is the type of green that I like. It's a realistic green, if that makes sense. Brown pink. Right, that is very much like the Mars red. So what I would say with that is, let's put it right next to it. It's not that much different to Mars red. So if you're looking at the R&F drawing oils, you don't need brown pink and Mars red, probably. Payne's grey. Payne's grey, why wouldn't we do a Payne's grey? Ooh. That's a lot more translucent than the other ones. Might be, I might have to pull the skin off that one a bit more, but that is a nice Payne's grey. And the texture, I think, is going to be good on them. So Mars Black, love a Mars Black in pencil. I think it's a lot softer than like, you know, like a standard black. Oh, I like that. Raw umber. Ooh. Lots of very dark colours, and really I probably should have got that one that I was looking at that was slightly lighter. There's nothing from stopping me from ordering that at some point in the future. But lots of dark colours, foxy colours, so fox colours, dark tree colours, landscapey colours. Let's see how they mix. Ooh, I like that. That is raw umber with the titanium zinc white, and then that's raw umber with the unbleached titanium. Yeah, I could probably do with a bit of paper or something to take the skin off them. Although it easily comes off, it kind of gets in the way when you're trying to swatch them. Ooh. They're very blendable together as well, which you'd expect. I mean, it's an oil stick, but they're very. Some seem more buttery than others, but again, that could be a pigment thing. That's really nice. Yeah, I've got rid of the skin off that one. I think these are going to be really useful, probably as a whole, either for drawing with, as a standalone, or is that kind of like Probably use it as a last layer with it being oil paint. But we'll have to check how things work together, because I've never really mixed oil and acrylic and other things together loads. I always, when I use oil pastels, they're always kind of like the last layer that I would use. So these will probably be the same. That is a nice Mars Black. Yeah, oh, the texture. Let's get in there with the finger and smudge. Yeah. They're very, very, once you've took that layer off, which you just have to rub it round on a bit of paper, which is what I've done there off the screen. Just to like get rid of the top and the excess. They're so buttery and very blendable. Oh, I love it. Love it. Right. I also do like this, the packaging that they tend to send stuff in, because it's just good for like, they're good for stacking as well, and you can write on them what they are. They're good, I think I showed it in my pastel video, they're great for putting the pastels in so you can make your own little palette. But they're great for like the oils as well. You know, they'll just sit really nicely in there. My Great Art order has arrived, so I thought I'd just tag it onto the end of that Jackson's Art order and do it as like one large art supplies haul video. Just a note, I hadn't realised when I'd ordered it why it would take kind of so long, and I think it's because, although it's a UK company, I don't think they ship from inside the UK. So it's took a little longer than I kind of thought it would. So that's just something to bear in mind if you do order from them. I've never ordered from Great Art before. So this is my first experience. Nothing wrong with the company at all. It just took a little longer to come than I thought it would. But that was me not obviously reading their shipping delivery times. A lot of this has been inspired by Sarah Dyer and a little bit by Emma Carlisle. First off, I've never tried this before. I've bought other ink brush pens, but I've never bought the Sennelier ones. And I watched a video of late, the back end of last year, that Sarah did with some art supplies, which is what kind of enabled me to buy them. And Sarah was showcasing these Sennelier ink brushes, which I have seen before, I think again on Sarah's Patreon and maybe Emma Carlisle's Patreon, but I can't be sure. Anyway, I thought I would try this one here, which is a Payne's Grey one. It's just beautiful. I love Payne's Grey so much. There's another Payne's Grey thing here as well, which is not how you would think of Payne's Grey, which has been said in the video that I saw it in, but I kind of like the look of the colour. It was very unusual for a Payne's Grey, so I thought I'd just get that to try. But that's lovely. I am swatching in the Royal Talons, so it's probably got some bleed through. Oh, actually it's not too bad. But that is a lovely, what I would say though is to squeeze it. Oh, it's probably because I'm squeezing the wrong bit. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's lovely. That's gorgeous. I think as well Sarah said that you can hack these when they run out. So that would be kind of good if you could hack the brush pens. But yeah, that's lovely. I like an ink brush pen. I've been using my Pentel ones quite a bit recently. So it's useful to note to keep these to stop if you were to use them for going out and about. Apparently that if you put that back in, it stops it from leaking, so I'll have to try and remember to put that somewhere. Pabio. So Emma Carlisle has talked about these Pabio Colorex inks for absolutely ages. I was kind of like on the fence, in the sense of, not that I thought that they weren't going to be good, it was more, do I need them? I have some Echelina or Ecoline ones, and I think from what I gather they're very similar to that, but there was a couple of colours that I don't think you can get, well, you definitely can't get in the Ecoline or Echelina, so I kind of just thought I would give them a go. Ooh, now that does not look like what I thought it was going to look like. Turtle Dove Grey. That's like a browny grey. Ooh, I like that. I really like that. Now that is going to bleed through because I can see it's bleeding through. I think that would probably work better in the pith. This is like a watercolour ink, which is very similar to, let's find one, the Ecoline or Echelina. This is a liquid watercolour as well. So very similar, but you can get different colours in the Pabio, which is lovely. So that is Turtle Dove Grey. So I've got green gold. I love a green gold. I think I've said that before on here, or have I? I'm not sure, but I do love a green gold. I think I've said on here that I like a realistic green, but I also love, oh, that is nice. That is really nice. I love a green gold. They are definitely going to bleed through on this, yeah. So that's just to be mindful. In the Royal Talons, you will get bleed through. I don't think in the pith you would, because you don't with the Ecoline or Echelina. So I'm just swatching this to hand because I'm just using this because I want to finish this sketchbook. Been using this one quite a bit. Oh, that's very similar. Oh, I've got something on my brush that's very similar to, I like that. That is pink beige. Very similar, or seems very similar to Apricot in the Echelina or the Ecoline. So you probably wouldn't need both, but pink beige. What I might do is I might show you on the pith if I've got a spare page or something in the pith sketchbook that I've nearly finished, or have, well, mostly finished. So this is the Payne's Grey. This really interested me because, as you can see, it looks very purpley, and Sarah definitely said in her video that it's not what you'd expect from a Payne's Grey, because it is very purpley. Oh, I do like that. I think it's quite nice to have options. Yeah, I definitely like that. Okay, so this is not pith. This is I think it's Jackson's hot press watercolor. I think I've just found it in my drawer, but very similar to pith, different paper to the Royal Talons. I don't think you'll get the bleed through with this at all. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. It's very purpley grey brownie. That's very interesting for a Payne's Grey, because if you put it right next to, this is the Sennelier Payne's Grey. Sorry, I'm wobbling the camera. That is very, like, that's a deep blue, definitely on the bluer side of the Payne's Grey. You can get so many different variations of Payne's Grey. A lot of them tend to be like the bluey side of Payne's Grey, but that is interesting. It's definitely not what I would have called a Payne's Grey, but that's kind of what makes it interesting, I guess. So other Sennelier things that I got, And do you know what? I nearly actually ordered these, totally forgetting that I put them on my Great Art order. I saw Emma talking about them again, and I was like, oh, I definitely need, I don't know if it was Emma or somebody on Emma's Patreon going, oh, I've got this brilliant Sennelier pastel pencil, and yeah, it's absolutely, really love the colour, blah, 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 etc., etc. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds lovely. Love a pastel pencil, blah, blah, blah. I'll have a look on Jackson's. Now, luckily, I then, like, I was adding them to my basket, these colours, not loads of them, but these colours, and then I suddenly had a thought, didn't I order these already? Luckily I had that thought, because I then went into my email and found my Great Art email, and I had actually ordered some of the colours I was adding to my basket in Jackson's. So there we go. The memory is not brilliant, but it did win out. So they look like this. So they don't have like a wooden, would you call it, a wooden barrel around it. It's just, I think it's just predominantly the pastel. I don't know how they'll hold up to how rough you can be with them, or how heavy-handed you can be without snapping them. Oh, but they're lovely. Oh, I love that. That is brown ochre. What I'll do is I'll swatch them and then I'll write them down. What's this? Castle Earth. Ooh, that is different. I had a Castle Earth pencil from, was it from Luminance? Cavendish Luminance. It might have been Cavendish Luminance. I don't know if I've got it. Have I got it? No, I don't know. But I didn't like it because it was really scratchy, and and the colour was a bit not like, yeah, I wasn't keen on the colour, in the sense of it was kind of nothing to something, not as great as a sepia or a Mars Black. Whereas this Castle Earth is like, that is nice. It's like a taupey grey brown colour. Oh, I like. And it's not like, oh, I like that. This is the one that Sarah mentioned, and I was like, oh, I like the sound of that. I like the name, and I like the look of the colour as well. Dead Leaf Green, which when I saw a swatch it, I thought, is that like a greeny gold? It is kind of, but it's more on the yellowy side, and it does look like a dead leaf in autumn. I like that. That is lovely. Yeah, black green. Just had to check the piece of paper. I love a black type of green, because actually that's a bit like a green version of a Mars Black. That is definitely like a green version of that. And then this is the one that I can't remember who it was who was talking about it. It was the one on Emma's Patreon where I was like, oh, I need to get that. That sounds really good. Obviously forgetting that I'd already ordered it. Luckily didn't order it again. But this is, I think you pronounce this Violaceous Grey. And they said that this was like the purple version to Mars Black. And it is. That is lovely. That is, yeah, I love that. Ooh. So I'd say that is kind of a bit like the green version to a Mars Black, and that's like the purple version to a Mars Black. Really, really lovely. I only bought the 5 in the colours that I thought, oh, they're like kind of not unusual. Well, those 3 I thought were unusual. Those 2 I thought, oh, they're quite nice and will come in handy. But yeah, I like them. Like you said, I don't know how they would hold up to if you quite I can be a bit heavy-handed at times. Not all of the time, it depends what I'm working on, but I think you would snap them. I definitely think you would snap them. And I'm not quite sure how would I sharpen them. Would I just use a normal sharpener? Probably. Why wouldn't you? Because you would use a pastel pencil in a sharpener. But yeah, brown ochre. So that says brown ochre, but it's a very, very creamy, creamy colour. I love how you can get a lovely line with them as well. Oh, right, fab. Love them. Dead Leaf Green wins the award for the best name for a pastel pencil or a pencil, because it does just look like a dead leaf in autumn. Love it. Violocious Grey, I really like that. This I really love. I do actually really love this Payne's Grey. It's very unusual, but yeah, has it bled through? No, it's not, so it won't bleed through probably on the pith, whereas in the Royal Talons they all have bled through. Look at that. So that's just something to be mindful of. Really happy with those purchases. Thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a bit of a long video. The next one will not be any art supplies haul. It will be something different, but I do appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. Please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and do take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.